Mike 6, that's fantastic. You're all looking great. Thanks for coming out. We're halfway through the show. We're all pumped. Are you ready? I hope everything's great and all your body parts are functioning normally. I don't know about you, but I do feel a little bit funny in the head. Sometimes I have a bit of a headache, and do you ever wonder, is that it? Is it the end? And when that happens, let's try that clicker. When that happens, do you turn to Accurate Diagnosis by Google? I've been diagnosed with brain cancer 23 times. And once breast cancer. Actually, it's quite a lot of work to get rid of those what do they call them? Boobs. Man boobs. And the point I want to make there is that really it's important to consider where you're getting your facts from. What is accurate? Did you know that about 7 million Americans believe that chocolate milk comes from brown cows? And if some of you in the audience do believe that, I would encourage you to maybe think it through. I'll leave it up to your imagination where the brown chocolate milk actually comes from. But the important thing, right, is to consider where are you getting your facts from. It's important, right? And it's important in a whole lot of outcomes, not least of all in health. And that really leads me to my next step. So I work for a company that makes DNA sequencing products, enabling DNA sequencing. And you might have heard a lot about DNA sequencing. Maybe it puts chips in your DNA. I've heard that. I certainly hope that they're flavoured, vinegar flavoured perhaps. That would be delicious. And, you know, is it anal probes? I don't think so. But it's important to get your facts right. And the benefit of DNA sequencing really allows you to do that in a whole range of areas to work out actually what is going on. And I'll take you through some of the details of the benefits of DNA sequencing. So the first really is forensics, and you know, it can be who was at the scene of a crime. Wasn't me. It could be relatedness, and this is a picture of my beautiful, cute daughter. And for those of you who are parents in the room, I'm sure that most of the time your kids are cute, but also sometimes maybe you feel they're not. Maybe they arc up a bit. Maybe you don't get enough sleep. And so, I mean, when my daughter, her name's Nini, came to me and she said, "Daddy, am I adopted?" I got some DNA sequencing done, and unfortunately, I had to tell her, not yet. Just kidding, she's not my daughter. No, she is my daughter, as far as I know, and very cute. But that is one of the benefits of DNA sequencing. It's a little technique that I like to call, "Who's your daddy?" And it's somewhat different to when I was dating, and you know, in a slightly different context. You know, I got to ask that same question. That's right, I'm your daddy. So that's benefit one of DNA sequencing. And another benefit is the ability to look at and characterise who has what microbial contamination or condition, and even what strain. And you might be wondering, that's great, but what are these cute, innocent, cuddly koalas doing right here on this picture? And so for those of you who are maybe a little bit clammed up about your koala desires, I have news for you. These little fuckers, they all have the clam. Legitimately, nearly every koala in Australia has chlamydia. And of course, we want to unpick that in a little bit more detail. But a bit of advice for you, pubic health announcement, if you like. If you're going down a nature reserve and you see those cute little fuckers in the trees, maybe, just don't fuck around, And so, just as an aside, my dear Uncle Barry is in the audience, and I haven't really warned him. Uncle Barry, I said the F word. So I'm really sorry. I just need to let you know it's going to get a lot worse. He says, don't do it again. So let's do it again. So the important thing with these beautiful, cuddly, dirty little animals is that we actually want to help them. We want to sequence and find out what strains of chlamydia and what's going on so that we can help them and help them get over that. But yeah, very, very cute butts though. No, I'm kidding. So a third benefit of DNA sequencing really is the ability to sequence a bunch of genetic disorders. And what some of you might not be aware, and something that is quite close to my heart, is I used to be in cancer research myself. Cancer is actually a bunch of unique genetic disorders. Every single person in the history of the planet who's had cancer has had that because of a unique set of mutations distinct only to them that has caused their cancer. And understanding that is very important in the ability to treat the cancer, because if you know specifically what it is, you can target treatments that are a little bit more beneficial than the sort of universal approach of traditional cancer treatment. So I'll take you through, first of all, some of the old ways that we have used to check for cancer. And here's a good example of getting a prostate exam. Also an example, perhaps, when someone tells you to go fuck yourself. So what we all know is that if you're getting a test for prostate cancer, we know sort of how that might go traditionally. But what I can tell you is that no matter how good the doctor is with their hands and getting right up there, and no matter how good it might make you feel, it's not accurately going to diagnose your grade of cancer, and it's not accurately, even in some cases, going to pick up cancer. So there are other ways, of course, to check for cancer, and very broadly, there's a technique that gets a little bit closer to home called the fluorescent in situ hybridization, or FISH technique. And basically we use probes, but DNA probes, not butt probes, to attach to sections of a DNA to work out what is going on and what particular areas of a DNA are perhaps mutated. So that's useful. And I like to personally call this technique finding chemo. So that's great, but really that leads us to 21st century technology and 21st century ways to check, for example, for cancer. And this is really where the company that I work for now comes in terms of the next generation technology. And I'm going to take you through this in a little bit of detail how it works. But first of all, just to apologise in advance, and especially to you, Uncle Barry, that this description may get a little bit sexual. So, if we can get this video running, essentially what you have is a nice chunky boy erect piece of DNA that is going through a tiny hole, what we call the nanopore, and we put that in and we put it out, and we put it in and we put it out, and we put it in and we put it out, and what that does is it excites the hole so that the hole releases this electrical discharge that changes depending on what strand of DNA is in there. And this is true. I tell the truth. And when this comes out, that gives us the information of that strand of DNA. Quite orgasmic. So then we do that lots and lots of times with lots and lots of holes, with lots and lots of very excited DNA, until we get basically a giant orgy of experience that gets us the result very specific to the DNA that the person that we're looking at or the organism we're looking at has. And it's actually quite fast. It's almost like you start and then it's over in almost no time at all. Which from a health outcome perspective is actually really great. So, this is essentially what we do, and this allows you to answer questions like, who's your daddy? What koalas have been fucking around, and who's maybe been involved in that? Hopefully no one. And also to identify specific characters or traits of cancer in a unique person so that we can do targeted treatment and get them better more quickly. We're very proud of our technology. In fact, it's even been used on the International Space Station. And I'm happy to confirm that the space station doesn't have cancer. Jury's still out on the chlamydia though. So in wrapping up, you guys have been awesome. I'd just like to leave you with this. If you're at a zoo, you're walking along down a nature reserve, wherever you are, and you come across these cute little koalas, no matter how cute they are, remember, maybe just a kiss. Thanks guys, you've been awesome.